Okay, we're live. My PC, please hurry up. Let's see, while I wait for a couple people to tune in. Wrong button. My turn. Did I save that to my playlist? Yes, I did. Just checking my audio. Come on. Okay, I can hear myself on the stream. Let me just share it. Share. Chats. So glad I've got Raspberry and Brain on my chats. YouTuber chat group. That should get Raspberry's attention. Then I'll give him a ring just to be safe. Okay, where's me Dr. Pepper? If I knocked it over, my laptop is pretty much going to be ruined, so let's be careful, Ariel. Ugh, spilled a bit as I was pouring it. Whoa! So I had to put the bottle down. Move that out of the way. Okay, let's not spill anymore. At least I didn't drop any on my laptop. Okay, so I know what's coming up next in the game, and I'm going to do a little bit of on-screen grinding to prepare for it, which is what we're going to be doing. First, let's get to a roll.
Yeah, see ya.
By one up in magic. Okay, command X, command this, tornado strike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need more than that. And we'll get these. Yeah. Let's see if we can't get the abilities that I want and the commands that I want to get for Ventus. Okay, here's my notes. Where's my pen? Strike takes up 2 slots, okay. That would make Fire Dash, and I don't want Fire Dash. I can make a block command. I'm not gonna ask. I only have 3 Blizzards? Weird. Okay. Take 2 of them. How many do I have? Well, 1 is better than none. Okay, oops, wrong button. Been too used to playing a different game. Blizzard. That should do. Let's grind these commands in preparation for the upcoming fight. Some commands in preparation for the next part of the story, which we all know Stop acting up. I've only been up about an hour. It's groggy. Still way too long. But I've just swallowed enough of it. Yeah, that should help me get awake.
See ya. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. See ya. Win.
I want to level up these commands, and Enchanted Dominion for Ven is the best place to go. Book I have of the rest of that guide. Aha, there it is. And it's got something called my rat cage in it. Let's look up the finish commands that Ven has access to. And finally I can get rid of that. Nice, it landed in that box. Okay. Let's see. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Guide. I like how when they talk about the boss in Deep Space Terra, they mention Pikachu. Okay. Look, that's bent. That's not meant to be bent. I had that all smoothed out. Okay, that's Aqua. Gonna have to flatten that one. Man, I had that page all nice and smooth. Okay. I know it's near the back. That's the Mirage Arena. Minigames. I hate minigames. Especially Ice Cream Beat. Okay, we're at the commands. Come on! Where's the min finish? Magic? Where's Finch commands? Here they are. Okay. Oh, hi Chelsea. I was reading, sorry. look, and according to my guide, I should get that after that hits 2,000 command points. Which, according to this, shouldn't be too hard. I mean, I've already at 1,700. Just a bit of grinding right now. I want to level up now before we do the next part. What to do it yesterday? He's more preoccupied than me. 2 weeks of limited internet kind of makes you want to watch YouTube a lot. Not to mention I have been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so I also want to do that. First we gotta have our encounter with Vanitas, which is a fight, so I want to prepare for that. After that, it's Radiant Garden. And I've got sunlight in my eyes, even though I've shut my curtains. Those bent pages. I want to keep them nice and flat. Okay. Okay. Put that there, that should help flatten it. My curtains are not blackout. Resmo, I am sending you a pic of my curtains. They are not the best curtains. They are cream coloured. Ugh. And not very nice cream, and they don't have a second layer, so it ain't shielding my eyes very much. Grind more commands later. Oh, we've got new ones, but my mum is a picky sod and, well, she insists that my room must be 100% spotless and immaculate before she'll decorate my room and put the new curtains up. So that sucks. A lot. You should be getting the pick soon, Rez. Jack makes it earlier this time. He barely made it yesterday. I was leaving when he did get here. My curtains suck. these are curtains.
Yeah. It's over.
You're not the only one who's so bad.
Win. Fire. Freeze. See ya.
No.
Yeah.
Downstairs. Last time I checked. If he's not up here, he's normally downstairs by the radiator, asleep. Which is not abnormal for him. Okay, Rez, if you go on YouTube or chat, you should have to pick up my curtains. And what do you think, Rez? They suck? Because they're not that good at blocking out light. Though Mum did give me a bigger mini fridge. It's the one from downstairs. Well, the one I got for Christmas last year, has been lent to my brother. Not that he's using it yet. Considering before it was like a micro fridge, and this is more like a fridge that can hold a large bottle of Dr. Pepper, and maybe a couple bottles of milk. And it's big enough to put my laptop on. It can only hold one large bottle standing up. The others kind of roll about, so thinking about it. But it's only a loan. Mum hasn't decided whether or not I'm going to be able to keep it permanently, but I'm making use of it while I've got it.
It's over.
I just sent you a pic. Yeah, well, the one that my mum got me for myself on Christmas 2020, just before 2020, was big enough to hold 8 cans of Dr. Pepper or 4 little bottles of Dr. Pepper, and not much else. This one can hold a lot more. So it's definitely an upgrade. Now I'm sure a lot of you are wondering about the renovations that I mentioned before I went to Samurai. And I'm going to give you an update on it. Well, I did say it's big enough to hold my laptop workflow, so I might as well make use of that. So, update. We're pretty much done. All that's left is for a new front and back door to be fitted, and 2 extractor fans to be put in, one in the kitchen and one in the bathroom. Other than that, the renovations are pretty much done, thankfully. But until then, we've got to put up with this annoying plastic in our hallway and living room, which is ultra annoying to walk on. Especially seeing as I walk barefoot. So that's not fun. But like I said, other than that, our renovations are pretty much done. Desmond, they were given till February 28th to do the renovations. They managed to do it like 2 weeks early. That's pretty good. I was able to return this time last week actually. They were that early. So I spent the last couple days before I returned to streaming getting ready and settling in back into home. The dog has gone absolutely nuts. Mum's thrilled with the new kitchen.
Yeah, yeah.
Mum still needs to put up a cupboard in the bathroom.
Yeah, see ya.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So you could have waited 4 weeks, but instead you only had to wait about 2.5. I alerted Respo when I was coming back and that I was going to take a few days to go back into being at home.
see ya.
So pretty much we're getting streamed a week earlier than I had originally planned.
It's over.
Yeah, they're not quite finished, but they finished all the major stuff. The stuff that forced me to be away from home. I mean, all I gotta do is put an extractor fan in the kitchen, swap a cupboard door, because Mum doesn't like the fact it doesn't match the rest of the kitchen. And then the kitchen's done. Then I gotta put an extractor fan in the bathroom. And then all it is swapping our giving us a new front door and a new back door, then they're done. Other than that, we're 90% done pretty much. And hello, Jax. You made it earlier today. Hey, you're not exactly on time, but you're earlier than you was yesterday. Because I haven't done anything story related yet. Yesterday, Jax, you had me and a lot of others feeling bad for you because you missed virtually everything. Other than my outro. I want to level up my commands before we go for Telekinesis, and then we'll go Radiant Guard. Telekinesis ain't gonna take too long once I level up some commands, that's why I'm doing some off-screen grinding. Now, I do have some pics of the renovations that we have had done, but my mum doesn't want me sharing them because, well, it's our kitchen. But I can show Respo. These pics were taken a couple days ago. So of course we've added stuff since these pictures were taken, Res. Now, if you look under the picture of where Chewie is, you'll notice that one cupboard ain't the same shade as the other cupboards in the area, and that is the cupboard they're going to swap. And there's a video of me eating a brownie. My niece was cooking. He was investigating the counter, and Chewie doesn't normally jump up onto the counter like that.
Yeah.
Mum was doing the dishes while I was away, and suddenly she found Chewie next to her.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah. See ya.
Did you get the video, Rez? The new kitchen? Kind of. It's mostly the same layout as we had before, except the draining board's been put on the other side of the sink. Ooh, I got air flare. Nice. Oh, trust me. I can go a lot quicker once I get them in EXP Walker. Okay, we're gonna focus on air flare for a bit. So the video will show you parts of the kitchen a bit more up to date. When you look in the background, Resbo.
It's over.
Now, according to a message my mother got, the new back doors are going to be done early next. What news, Chelsea? The renovations? Renovations were not my idea. They've kind of been promised to us for years, and Mum finally had enough and kind of shouted at some council people to get them done. It's mostly done. Like, it's only a few touch-up bits that need doing. New front door, new back door, the extractor fans, and making the cupboard downstairs match the rest of the kitchen. Other than that, yeah, most things are done. Extractor fans are different in that instead of blowing air in, most fans blow air in. Extractor fans do the opposite and are mostly used for getting steam and condensation out of the house when you're cooking or having a shower. So you know when you're having a shower, all the hot steam from your shower goes up into the air and steams up your windows? Well, the extractor fan releases that steam so that you don't mess up your bathroom because of the type of walls that we've got upgraded. But other than that, yeah, they're just kind of backwards fans, if you want to think of them that way. Most fans blow air in towards you, and extractor fans do the opposite. time to cool down, it blows air towards you. An extractor fan would take the air away from you.
See ya.
So the bathroom extractor fan would turn on every single time we turn on the bathroom light to draw out condensation and stop it from ruining the walls. Until then, every time we have a shower, we gotta open a window, which is cold. There's certain walls, like they plastered over our old walls with a more modern one, which requires a extractor fan, so the water will damage it. That's why we need the fans, but it ain't that much because the walls are great. You know, it does mean Mum needs to drill new holes in the walls and we put the cupboard back up in the bathroom. When I heard about the effects going on in Texas and Louisiana with all that snow, I was like, the Texans and Louisianans finally know what it's like to have a Canadian or English winter. I mean, go back 20 years and that's what our winters were like here. That was the old British winter, is what Texas and Louisiana are currently experiencing. Or in Resbo's case, the Canadian winter. From what I've heard, at least. So yeah, early next week I may not be able to stream because they're fitting the new doors. But I think that shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, well I think Texas and Louisiana are kind of understanding you now more, Resbo. Texas normally moans that their summers are too hot. Well, now they can finally moan about something else. On the plus side, they're not going to need to water their crops anytime soon. I know they say everything's bigger in Texas. I don't think they really counted weather into that. As in like snowstorms. Georgia, that's near Atlanta. Georgia. I've heard of it. I know a city in it. Never been there. I haven't been to the United States since I was about 6. I haven't left the country since I was 6. It's one reason why I don't have a passport. Yeah, I watch Say Yes to the Dress at Yes, bridal fashion is quite a popular show around here. Like Say Yes to the Dress Atlanta, Lancashire, Ireland, UK, which is if you watch Say Yes to Dress UK, it actually takes place in Lakeside, my nearest shopping centre. Save up! I'm saving up for my wedding, Desmond. That and a PS5. But yeah, Say Yes to the Dress UK takes place in Lakeside, my nearest shopping centre. Or in your case, my nearest mall. And then there's the Lancashire one, which takes place in Lancashire, which is a couple of counties over. We call them shopping centres here. It's 3 floors. The first 2 floors are mostly shops. And then the 3rd floor, at the very top, is what we call the the food court. Some shopping centres call it the food terrace. But that one is called the food court, so it's got mostly like restaurants and whatnot and a couple shops. So it's a decent sized one. It's bigger than the one Samurai has access to. But yeah, so yes, the Dress UK is in that shopping centre. No, I don't. But like everyone else, there are times when you have to do something you don't like, and that for me, that is shopping. The only shopping I like is game shopping. So when I learned that was in that shopping centre, I'm like, okay, might as well have a look. Because after all, I'm engaged. I need to see what the fashion is for blooming things. Never mind, I'm normally about 5 years behind fashion. So. I've worn the same clothes for the past 8 years.
Come on! Bring it!
Like the top I'm wearing right now, I was wearing to college. Like, I wore this same top to college 8 years ago. I think it was 8 years ago, I was 16. Yeah, 8 years ago. So my style was pretty much like the same. A flowy top, leggings. And then my trainers. Which Americans do sneakers for some reason.
It's over.
Here there's a lot of opportunity actually. Hang on. I did 4 years of college. Here in UK, where I am, we get primary school, which is reception, which is nursery, reception, which is pretty much kindergarten. And then we have primary school, which is year 1 to 6. Then we have secondary school, which is year 7 to 11. And then there's an optional sixth form at some colleges, which is pretty much years 12 and 13. Then you can sign up for college. Now, you can study all for years if you want. You just gotta pay for, like, attending. But thankfully, they're not as bad as university fees. So after college, you can get aid to help pay for certain things that you need for your course. But most colleges are free, depending on what college you're going to, at least. I went to one of the local ones where there's 3 different campuses. So after the college, you can go to university, and that's where you need to pay. That's where the expense comes in. I did 4 years of college. I studied catering, then I studied retail, then I did 2 years of science. And halfway through college, I started doing my YouTube channel. Then I was like, people with disabilities don't get jobs that easily, so having YouTube as a backup would be quite beneficial. Not to mention, it keeps me out of trouble. Considering that when I was in my first year of science, I was voted as the smartest girl in the class. mum is continuously trying to get me to go back to college. Don't know why. Probably because she's old-fashioned and she doesn't think music will actually turn into a career. But who cares if it turns into a career? It's what I like. If it turns into a career, then that's just a bonus for me. Well, some did say I was the smartest kid in the class, because, well, I was making the boys look like idiots. Especially seeing as most of the boys in the class were just, being pests. Chelsea, I may not like shopping. I don't like fashion. I'm not that big a fan of music. I have a small selection of music I do like. And I don't like makeup. About when I go to a party, about the only thing I toss on is some mascara. Some mascara and maybe a bit of foundation to cover up my acne. Other than that, I don't wear makeup. Like, on a day-to-day basis, I don't wear any. It's only on very special occasions, like my great aunt's 90th birthday party, that I actually wore makeup. Like, my great aunt is our matriarch of the family, because our family is very big. Everyone calls her aunt out of respect. And, well, she likes to party. As she said on the invitation, she was 18 with 72 years experience. Or is it 82? One of them is it. I don't know.
It's over.
So yeah, she's actually my mother's aunt. And our family is that big and she's the oldest member that she is our matriarch. So whatever she tells you to do, we do. But thankfully, she's fun-loving and quite nice. Even Samurai gets along with her. I mean, we went to the party and Samurai's like, is she meant to be dancing like that? And I'm like, great aunt does what she wants. And watching her dance like an 18-year-old is quite hilarious. Considering that was a couple years back and she's still kicking. Yeah, well, we don't really party much here. My family don't party much. I mean, we used to have this big old family reunion each year. Yes, I did. And, well, now my uncle can't do the reunion each year, so every time we get together, we kind of show off. Yes. Oh, trust me, it was. You should see the buffet my family put on for that party. We don't do things by halves, and when you've got 80 plus members of a family to feed, you don't mess around. Yes, there's like 80 odd of us. And that's just in the UK. We're planning something like a barbecue. Oh, trust me, it is big. To the point where it takes up about 4 buffet tables. Just to feed us all for one night. And don't forget, a lot of us are having children. Right, most of us are at childbearing age, so we're having kids. So there's a lot of kids running around too. And it doesn't help that Samurai has a big family as well, and his nan is their matriarch. Matriarch is the female leader of the family. Patriarch is the male. Yes, Desmond, and that's just my family. When Samurai marries me, his family is going to merge into mine, and his family is not quite as big, but it's still big. That he was thinking his side of the family when I said my family was big, but he kind of got shocked that it was my family was even bigger. So anytime we get together now, we have to rent a very big hall to have enough space for us to all eat and have some fun. No, it's only one of them. My great aunt is actually going to be approaching her 100th birthday soon. I'm not exactly sure when, but it's going to be soon. I mean, she's lucky she's at 90 and doesn't seem to have any health issues to worry about besides a bit of arthritis. I believe, if I remember correctly, she's 96 now? Trying to talk about my family without giving her names. To give you an idea of the size of my family, my dad has 3, maybe 4 brothers and a twin sister, and they all have kids. Most of them are boys, but there are a couple girls. My mum has 2 brothers and they have kids. My cousin has kids. My cousin's a hairdresser. And some of their kids have kids. Like, one of my dad's kids, my brother, on that side, he has kids of his own now. I've never met those kids, but I know that he has them. Then again, I'm not surprised. We found out, like, we're related to someone just because we have one person in common in our families. We try to be close. It was a lot easier when my uncle was throwing his yearly Boxing Day reunions. Virtually anyone who was able to travel due to, like, not being... If, like, we weren't sick, we would do our best to get there. And to see his, like, 4-bedroomed house crammed with, like, 80 to 100 people, just the ones that live in the UK. My grandfather has cousins in, I think it's Bermuda or the Bahamas, one of the two. Well, let's just say he had to, like, buy food for a month. But, of course, he can't do that now because of age, and we kind of savour what reunions we get, which is normally important birthdays. And speaking of which, next year I turn 25. Chelsea, a 4-bedroom house. I didn't say 4 floors, it's a 2-floor house. Ground floor and the first floor. But it had 4 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms, 1 toilet. Which normally done his family quite well until the reunions. Then it was a queue for the bathroom. With mothers and very young children going in at the same time for safety's sake. To the point it got so bad one year, my uncle rented a porta potty. He had a very decent sized back garden, Chelsea. And a conservatory. And remember, not all of us were able to go every single year. Like, my nan was only able to go for a couple years, and then she started getting so painful when she moved that she stopped going. But her children would go. Which would be my dad. So he had a big garden, the food was in the conservatory, thankfully. And then we're spread, like, throughout his living room, dining room, kitchen, and the upstairs bedrooms. All just partying like crazy. Then of course there's the kids running riot in the garden. I miss those days. I wish you could still do them. We're hoping that after the lockdowns eased and everything's a conservatory. It is pretty much a glass extension to your back door. It's nice and warm. It's kind of like halfway indoor outdoor. But it's nice and warm, it keeps you dry, and yet you're somewhat outside. Think of it kind of like a greenhouse, but instead of growing plants, you use it as an extra living room. That's the best way I can describe it. And they can come in different sizes. Yes, well, he had a nice big one that could hold a lot of food when he put some tables in there, so... Then it was the garden, so... It kept us quite happy for years. And don't forget, he has sons, and I think a daughter, and they are now having kids of their own, so the family is very big. I don't know if it's the biggest family in the United Kingdom, but we're definitely amongst the biggest. I mean, most of us have the same surname, or it was our maiden name or our parents' maiden name. Yes, well, I want to be prepared. And my commands are taking a while to find. Especially Tornado Strike. And hello, Joycelyn, you missed it. Joycelyn, you just missed like a huge explanation of my family. I've been fine. So, as I was saying, the family is big. We're not exactly sure how big because we're constantly finding people who we're relating to. Like, when I was at college, there was this guy in my class who's always wearing a hat. We found out we have an aunt in common. Like, my aunt was also his aunt. So he's what, my second cousin? Even though I'd never seen him until that point. So we've stayed in touch ever since. It is that big, we're constantly finding people we're related to, albeit sometimes different. Like, sometimes we'll be distantly related to someone. I mean, one of our neighbours is related to my mother through marriage. brother of my mother's cousin.
It's over.
So that makes her a distant member of our family.
Yeah. See ya.
So you can understand, we're kind of like, you're related to me? Oh great, another member of the family tree. To the point where only one member of my family, my cousin, my female cousin, I've got a lot of cousins, most of them are male, but I've got a few female ones, is the only person in our family to actually find somewhere they can do the family tree. I repeat, yesterday drove in. Come on, I want these to level up. I want to get to my cures. Sunlight, go away. So, you can kind of imagine why we don't do, like, the reunions anymore. Because it was like, previously it was only close family members, but we were discovering, like, more distant family members.
It's over. See ya.
Come on, get out of the ground. I think it's good to run. I mean, you can kind of understand with a family that big why we don't take family holidays. I mean, the last family holiday we had was Butlin a couple years back, which was me, my mum, my brother, his kids, my sister, her husband, their kids, and Samurai. And we're doing the same thing this year in October. To be exact, I have 5 brothers that I am aware of. Yeah. 5 brothers, 1 sister. 5 nieces, I think. And 3 nephews as far as I'm aware. Of course, my other half-brothers on my dad's side, well, I don't know much about their kids and I haven't met them, so I don't really count them much yet. Because I can't count who I haven't met. Yeah, I'm just glad I don't live with all my brothers. I only live with the brother that I've got on my mum's side. The other 4 are on my dad's side.
It's over.
So thankfully I don't live with all of them. I am the only girl on my dad's side. So I kind of get spoiled by him a bit. Which is fair enough. I mean, his family do have a habit of chucking out boys.
It's over.
But he's a twin, so... With Samurai's family also having twins, we have to be careful for the future.
See ya.
I didn't say that. I said on my dad's side. My mum has a daughter. My sister is also related to me through my mum. On my mum's side, I have one brother and one sister. My dad's side, I have 4 brothers. I am the youngest on my mum's side, which is a pain in the butt. I remember growing up, I was constantly asking my mum for a little sister. And mum was like, no! But it ended up with me being so lonely that I just developed a habit of talking to myself just to give myself something to listen to. Okay, my cup's empty. Yes, well, I'm the only one with disabilities. So Mum often said if I'd been her first, I would have been her last. Because apparently I was a pain in the butt. Then again, both my parents are stubborn, so I can kind of see why I'm stubborn. I mean, what 5-year-old argues with the head teacher of a school for 20 minutes? Not many. Most 5-year-olds, you yell at them, they'll cower away from you until you calm down. Me, I yell back louder. Well, at least I did. It took my head teacher 20 minutes to shout me out. He called me the most stubborn 5-year-old he'd ever met. On the plus side, he knew I had plenty of confidence. And that I wasn't afraid to voice my opinions. Yes. And it's still quite funny to bring up every now and then. These are taking forever to level up. One thing I miss about primary school is our head teacher had this book, and at the end of every assembly, he would read us a story. And when he reached the end of the book, he would just start all over. It had like 15 stories in it. And one of the stories that every member of the school loved to hear was the story about the chocolate cake. And he described it as the most delicious chocolate cake you could get. With thick icing that crunched as you bit into it. The gorgeous chocolate sponge and the nice cream chocolate in the middle between the layers. And how this kid got caught for eating virtually an entire, like, 22-inch cake in the middle of the night. Eating it. Oh, that was great. I miss that. I wish I had that book. Yes, and every person in the school would wait for that story to come back around when he would read it again. And our head teacher would like act it out. So if when he gets to the part of the mother saying, "What's that?" he would point to the cheek of a student. Because it was trying to detail a bit of chocolate on their cheek. So he would point to one of the students at the front of the hall. And everyone loved that part of the assembly. No matter how boring the rest of the assembly was, we just waited for that part of the assembly. talked to that head teacher today. He's a friend of my mum.
Yeah.
Then again, with my mum being called up to the school so often because of me being a troublemaker, she's got a job there. She started out helping out in the dinner hall, then helped out in the triage room, the nurse area, and then ended up in the classroom as a TA, or teaching assistant as they were called back then. So I ended up getting my mum a job because I was naughty. The one time me being naughty paid off. And then in secondary school, there was this raffle each year. I decided, yeah, I went into it, but it was the cost of my dinner money. So I sacrificed my lunch to buy one ticket, one itsy bitsy raffle ticket, not a strip, one. So I get home, I tell Mum about this, and she gives me the most horrendous lecture about you're not going to win with one ticket. Yes? What are the odds? The next day, or a few days later, I can't remember which, I go into school and I hear like someone's won something. So I go to like check the raffle numbers, not expecting to have won anything from my mum. And I'd actually won an iPod Nano. I got it, like, turned in my ticket, and took it home. Mum was not impressed. She's like, the whole idea of the lecture was to be proven right. And I'm like, the whole idea of being a kid is for those rare moments when you can prove your parents wrong. Sure, parents are right most of the time. Yeah, your parents are right most of the time, but not always. And those rare times when you are right are what kids live for. Come on. An iPod Nano for like £2.90, which was the cost of my ticket. That's a pretty sweet deal. You gotta admit that is a pretty sweet deal for an iPod Nano. So as you can imagine, my mum was not happy. Exactly, and I was what, year 7, year 8? Somewhere around that time. And I've still got it. Not that I've used it much, because I'm not really one for music, but I've still got it. I just said that. It's in a drawer downstairs. But you gotta admit, that is like the highlight of your school years, is being able to prove your mother wrong. And then, a couple years back, I was watching my mum and my boyfriend at the time, which is Samurai, because we had only been dating a little while, and they were trying to move this butler's sink for my neighbours who had recently passed, and his family had said that we don't have graduation here, Chelsea. Not in school, at least. The only time we have a graduation is university. So they're trying to move this sink because the guy's family said help yourself to anything you want from the back garden because we're not going to need it. So they're trying to move this sink. It's an old porcelain sink that's really, really heavy. It's known as a butler's sink. And they're trying to move it in this wheelbarrow really slowly. So I decide I'm going to go down there and help. I lift up the wheelbarrow end and I just start walking with no problem whatsoever. Turned out I have a lot of strength, but I can't really control it. Sometimes I can use the strength I've got, and I'm stronger than I look, but other times I can't seem to access my strength at all. And that day with the butler sink, Mum was like, whoa, she's strong. And she just held the sink steady while I got it up the rest of the way.
It's over.
Yes, the problem is I can't control it, so when my brother was moving back in, he warned us about this heavy, what do you call them in America? Ottomans? We call them puffies over here. But his was one that had a compartment inside for storing stuff. So, he's like, be careful with that, it's heavy. My mum just went to him, she's stronger than she looks, you know. Him knowing that, of course. He's like, yeah, but we don't know how strong she's feeling today. And I just pick it up and I'm like, it's not that heavy, it's just awkwardly shaped. It's not exactly small where I can just pick it up in my hands. It's awkwardly shaped where I pretty much had to carry it on my head. But it helped get everything in. So if I could learn to control my strength, one, I wouldn't be causing Samurai so many nosebleeds. Like, we're having a pillow fight once, and my hand accidentally went across his face. I gave him a nosebleed. It's like, whoops. Thankfully, he wasn't moaning too much. He just pressed his face into my pillow. Which just meant I had to wash my pillowcase. Yeah, don't worry. We kind of cause each other injuries. Like, he likes to sword fight. Like, mock sword fights with toy swords. And the other, when I was at his, he's like, let's get the training swords out and have a spar. Like, spar with each other. He ends up donking me on the head with it. And it hurt. But on the plus side, it stopped the spar, which I wasn't too into at the time. I'm like, seriously, I just got here and this is what you want to do?
It's over.
So we kind of even each other out with, like, injuries. But me being strong does help in more practical situations, like when my mum... normally it's a draw, Desmond, because Samurai has the knowledge of, like, watching films and whatnot. I went fencing. Chelsea, you might be interested in this story. In Year 6, the last year of primary school, when I attended, we had what we call a leavers getaway. The Year 6 would go on this little residential trip where we'd stay on the island of Wight for a week at a place called Kingswood. And there they had a fencing day. So we were all like fencing, and I used the disarming technique, even though they had not taught us that. They're like, just jab at your opponent gently. So I whacked my fencing sword around my opponent and disarmed them. They asked how I knew that, and I'm like, Harry Potter? Like, the wand movements in Harry Potter are similar to the fencing technique movements. You use the Expelliarmus movement, it's the same as their disarming. You just do this Expelliarmus, then you flick it to disarm your opponent in fencing. That is as close to a leavers do that we have in primary school. In secondary school, it's just prom. fencing, wand movement and fencing has, in several shows, been connected to each other as they have similar wrist movements. So yes, practicing the disarming move in Harry Potter and then adding a flick to it to the side is pretty much the same as fencing disarming. I believe that's what they used when they're not on set in Harry Potter to like practice the movements, is like a little bit of fencing, but I can't be sure because it's never been confirmed, but that would be my guess. It was part of the trip to Kingswood, so I haven't done it since, but I was praised for knowing like an official technique.
See ya.
I miss Kingswood. Every day going there, and at the end of the day after dinner we would go and get hot chocolate. And I miss it.
It's over.
Would I do it again? Yes. Fencing is very feminine. Okay, it's not designed for strength, it's designed for agility. Okay, being able to dodge and pick the right moment. So it's more of a woman style. I mean, you watch Winx Club and they do it in like the season 6, and the Prince Sky character says, don't think strength, think feminine. As he's trying to like talk to his opponent as they're doing a friendly duel. And the opponent ends up losing because of it. How am I doing? Come on! How long does it take for Tornado Strike to level up? Oh well, this is going to be one grinding stream in there for you. Level 18, that's gonna help. Come on. Hey, if this is going to be a grinding stream, then it just means this is going to be hard. until I got hijacked. That's when I'm gonna need to go back and get one. I want my cures! I want to be able to get to my cures, and I need to get past my Hondas first. And for that, I want to get rid of Tornado Strike. Well, I can definitely say you've learned a lot about me this stream, so... Okay. Oh, come on! It's still not leveled up? There better not be a level 4 to this thing. I was wondering where you were, Rez. Why are you doing rather quiet? Okay. Nearly there with Tornado Strike. Ah, my knee is messed up. Finally! Level 4. Let's see if that's the end. Finally! Okay, let's meld some commands. Thunder Boost. Magic Haste. Sorry, Jax! Thundara, Cure. Kinda tempted to do a command board. I can do a lot louder, Joycelyn. I have a pretty strong pair of lungs when I want to work. That reminds me, I need to get back to the show. Like I said, Desmond, I can do a lot louder. But if I did so, I think I would break your microphone.
Yeah. See ya.
Not to mention, I'd probably have my mother come running and tell me to shut up.
Yeah. 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 It's over. Yeah. Yeah. See ya.
Sorry, guys. I need 400 medals to get that. And I need magnet and arrow. Yeah, I'm not gonna rush with it. A mite set of lungs, Jax? Ah, that makes more sense. Okay. Let's have a look at this laptop. You could have just put strong. Asus? There are worse songs to have in your head. I remember one time I put on Cinderella at Christmas, the movie, and my mum had Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo stuck in her head from Christmas till Easter. She forbid me to put on Cinderella in front of her for quite a while. Yes, it drove Mum nuts. So as you can imagine, she was not impressed with me. Like, at random times, she would just start humming Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Then she'd get mad at herself. Then she would calm down and start doing something and then start singing it. Then she'd get mad at herself again. Then she got mad at me for putting on the damn movie. And I'm like, it's a song, it's Disney, what do you expect? It's meant to stick in your head. It's the reason why they sometimes use the song for adverts. Please remember, we are early in game, Handle.
It's over.
And considering we have the option of going up to level 9, I haven't watched Moana. For one, we don't own the film. Otherwise, I probably would have watched it by now. I remember last year when the shops were open, we went into DEX, which is one of our entertainment shops. It's pretty much a place where you can get second-hand stuff, like entertainment-wise. You can sell your stuff there, and other people can buy it later. And Mum's like, okay, we need to put new DVDs into the DVD cabinet. So I went and I'm like, I know we don't have this, I know we don't have that, and that. And I ended up giving like an armful of DVDs that we didn't have to Mum, and she's like, I need to make my little book again. Because when I was a kid, she had this little address book that she kept track of all what DVDs and videotapes we had. So what videos we needed to get rid of and get the DVD version. I just knew this cabinet very well because I'm constantly raiding it for film. It is, but they didn't have any in the shop at that time. Samurai uses the shop a lot to get games. I tend to try and get new versions of the games. So I buy mine directly while he buys his second hand. I sent you a link yesterday, Resbo, that shows one of our supermarkets. Tesco. So you have the option to see one of them. Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison's and Asda are constantly competing with each other. They're the four major brands we have, but then we have smaller ones like Co-op, Lidl, Aldi. Well, good luck getting through customs, because our customs are rather strict. They need to make sure that you've got enough money to move here for a while. Because London is expensive. And the hotel nearest to me is also expensive. I definitely won't recommend there. It's very, very from what I've heard, Resbo was working on it. Okay. They're starting to level up. Goody, 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 goody. Yeah. London International Airport. Most of ours have names. We have Heathrow, Gatwick, Stansted. They're the main airports in the London area. I've never heard of us having London International. For us, the biggest airport in the UK is Heathrow. At least the biggest one in England. It's not that long of a train. 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes on the train, then a bus ride. The train will get you to my nearest town. Then you gotta hop on a bus that will take you to my village. And the bus, annoyingly, only comes once an hour. Unless you want to hire taxis, which are expensive and right outside the train station, thankfully for you. Bus ride, you would need to get a certain bus and get off at the hospital. Bus ride, depending on how many people are on the bus and the traffic, can take anywhere from about 20-30 minutes to an hour. It's not normally long. The main time that bus is busy is during the mornings when everyone's on their commute. But if needed, I could meet you at the train station. Okay, let's sell that. Do I need a revolver? No. Mostly electronic. They're not bad. But, unlike America, we don't have conductors on our trains. And we don't get food on them either. I've researched. I was watching, Air Crash Investigation, and it had these couple episodes that detailed other, methods of transport, and one of them was a freight train crashing into a passenger train. And the passenger train had meals on it, and I'm like, I wish our trains had meals on it. But it was kind of like these cross-country through the Canadian Rockies or something. And I'm like, okay, wish our trains did that. But the only train I think does that is the one that goes from London to Edinburgh. Yeah, if you want to eat on one of our trains normally, you have to take your own damn train.
It's over.
I think I'll play more Valhalla today after my stream. I think, haven't really decided. I don't know, I've got a ton of stuff to watch on YouTube that I need to catch up on. I've also got Valhalla, and I want to get that through. Where's Bo? After watching countless episodes of Air Crash Investigation, or as it's called in America, Mayday, Samurai doesn't want to set foot on a plane. Me, I'm fine with them because I know each accident makes things safer. So, if we were to go to the US, Samurai would probably try and coax me onto a ferry, which would be great. Except for it takes a heck of a lot longer. There's not that many episodes of Mayday regarding trains, so Samurai's a lot happier with them. Okay, let's put that there. Meld. And I don't think there's a train that goes across the Atlantic.
It's over. See ya.
Probably.
It's over.
Pretty much. From what I've heard, you can go from one point and get off at different stations, and some of the views are the best in the northwest, from what I've heard. At least that's what the show said. And apparently it's spectacular at sunrise. But I can only go by what the show said, so don't quote me on everything. Come on. Nearly where I want it to be. And I'm level 20. Desmond, I haven't been on a plane since I was 6. Which is when my family went to Florida for 3 weeks. I haven't been on a plane since. I don't even remember it. I have been on a ferry to Isle of Wight when I was 11. That's about it. Nada. Yes, that's because we haven't left the country since I was 6. Most of our vacations or Sundays, as we call them over here in the UK, are sleepations. Resbo, when you are here, you might want to hop onto a ferry that goes into the heart of London, because then you will get, especially if it's a cruise ship, you'll get the rare opportunity of seeing Tower Bridge open, which, by the way, is the only time virtually that entire area of London stops. Okay, Londoners will stop and stare at it, because it doesn't happen very often nowadays. The only time it opens is when you got really big cruise ships that can't fit under it normally, or the occasional old-fashioned sailing ship. And trust me, you'll know when it's opening because everyone stops, and it has an alarm that signals it's opening. And it's pretty much our Industrial Revolution marvel. Right? It was made in the early times of the Industrial Revolution, and is now powered by Horizons. Yes, we would go on one. We're actually thinking of a cruise and a possible honeymoon. But there's also a place in Devon that is said to be quite good. So we're having a look around. So, pretty much, if you can find a cruise ship that goes into the heart of London, you've got a good chance of Tower Bridge opening up. Which, by the way, even the cruise ship drivers or pilots, whatever, captains, whatever you want to call them, they get excited because it doesn't happen often. The Shard has got a restaurant at the top of it, so that's going to be expensive. Other monuments are the Gherkin, which looks like a giant pickle, which is what we call giant pickles gherkins over here. Those pickled cucumbers, we call them gherkins. Some people call them wallies, but because pickles here could mean anything from pickled gherkins or pickled onions. It could also mean sandwich pickle, which comes in a jar. And it's a type of lumpy fruit. One place you might want to check out is London Dungeons, which I believe is a tour. Which I believe is tours. And then there's Tower of London. You can go in there, but you can't take any pictures of the crown jewels that are stored there. You can go near Buckingham Palace. What else? Then of course there's the Elizabethan Tower, more commonly known as Big Ben. Big Ben is the damn bell inside it. But the actual tower itself is called the Elizabethan Tower. And what else is there? There's the the Natural History Museum and the Science Museum. Then of course there's New London Bridge, which is the most recent one. London Bridge just keeps getting rebuilt and rebuilt. Piccadilly Circus is a roundabout. I don't know what they're called in America, but we call them roundabouts here. And, well... it's big enough to hold an actual circus. Which is probably why the roundabout called Piccadilly Circus, because it's in Piccadilly and it often holds a circus. And it's also very, very busy. It's not a place you want to be in rush hour. From what I've heard, I've never been there. Then what else is there? I believe it's Hyde Park. Each year has a festival called Winter Wonderland.
It's over.
Times Square is in America. So there's quite a few things in London that are based towards tourists. A lot of shops from what I've heard. How the hell do I have 14 EVAs? I don't like EVAs. Ugh. Combo Plus. Not that many. Okay. I need one of them, one of them. Have you actually researched an ether? Ether, also known as ethanol, is a poison. Okay, it was used in the old days to knock people out for surgeries and operations. Nowadays, it's not used. Too much of it can kill. Kinda like a lot of other stuff they use. At least potion is a bit more ambiguous. And of course, in London, there's the Millennium Dome, which is more commonly known nowadays as the London Eye. It was only meant to be up for a couple months. I've sent you a link, Resbo. You should have it by now. Well, it was meant to be, but it was kind of a big hit that everyone decided, hey, let's keep it up permanently. It was meant for the year 2000. What dome are you talking about? Resbo, what dome are you asking me about? Or are you talking about the Millennium Dome? Send me a picture of what dome you're talking about. From the movie if needed. There's a couple dome-shaped objects in London, including the O2 Arena. Which one? Millennium Dome? Because that's the big Ferris wheel in London. The Millennium Dome is the original name for the London Eye, which is a big Ferris wheel and I'm just going on it. No matter what my boyfriend says. The O2 Arena is pretty much a big ass stadium. Oh, you mean the O2 Arena? Yes, it's a big ass stadium we have in the UK. Can hold multiple shows at one time. From concerts to plays, that sort of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if the O2 Arena was made in 1999. I was Hang on, Rez. Is it this building? Let me know if that's the building you're talking about, Resbo. So is it that building? That is the O2 Arena. It's pretty much concert central. You want to see a concert, a play, that sort of thing in London, that's where you're going to find the hot stuff, the good stuff. It has this like decoration above a desk, or above, I can't remember if it's above a desk or above a big bit on the floor, and pretty much the lights change colour every hour or so, and it is, if you're lost, you go and stand underneath it, and someone will help you, or your parents will look there if they can't find you. But yes, that is the O2 Arena. My mother went there to see a concert once and took me with her. The O2 Arena is designed like that, so it is easily recognizable. If there's another reason for it, then I don't know what it is. But I believe they put banners and lights up on this right during celebrations and stuff. But yes, that is pretty much Celebration Central for London. Like, you want to see a show, you're gonna bet the nice stuff and the popular things like big concerts like Meatloaf or Tina Turner, they're gonna do it at the O2 Arena if it's in London. Wrong there, Desmond. There's 3 of them. Make sure you're using the right one. Sorry, I'm a grammar geek. Alright, the same problem has it with where, and where. Like 2, 2, and 2. Things sound the same, pretty much, but there's different spellings for different meanings. Let's put it this way, I like to read. And grammar is an important part of reading. So having at least the basics covered is important. Otherwise, your sentences won't make much sense. Something that I'm kind of having to put up with right now. I wish my knee wouldn't seize up. See if I can get these dragons, then I might be It's just stiff from where I've been sitting cross-legged on the bed. Yeah, sometimes. You know when you're sitting still for a long time and your knee begins to ache because of it? That, but it's only affecting my left knee for some reason. I'm fine when I'm laying with it straight. It's bent. On the edge of my bed. So it's either I'm having my legs dangle down or I'm sitting cross-legged. So it ain't gonna help my knee. I think I'll focus on Valhalla during weekends, and during the week you watch YouTube stuff so I can catch up on it. I mean, on the weekends I'll have more hours to get into the Valhalla. I need to check something for Valhalla anyway. Hey, hang on! I'm planning to do the series when Assassin's Creed 1 finally gets remastered, if they decide to remaster it. If not, I'll have to start off another 2. Anyway, I've got plans for my channel. I might do a Twitch stream, I don't know. You guys feel up to a Twitch stream? Sure, before I even think about doing a Twitch stream, I need to go to the loot stream. Straight after this stream, Jack. Considering I haven't completed the game, I'm working on completing it. Okay. Well, let's see how many of you are up for it. Get rid of that. Okay, so Joycelyn might not be able to come for the actual stream itself, but you'd be able to watch it afterwards. What about the rest of you guys? Need to be more careful how you word things, Jax. Well, I can leave it a little bit before doing the stream if you want. Okay, Curaga. I was hoping for another Curaga, but we're nearly there with Cure. If you noticed my recent Valhalla First Sports video that I put up a couple of days ago, well, I recorded that this time last week, I think. It was either, yeah, I think it was tomorrow, like Wednesday last week. So that's when I recorded it, and well, that's pretty much when I got home. I played Valhalla virtually all last week. Still not even that far into it. Tell you what, I'll stream my playthrough of Valhalla on Twitch, because Twitch doesn't always keep the videos for very long. And you guys can just tune in whenever you can. But I would have to do it on my other channel. On my other account, because that's where most of my save is. have to sort that out, but I think that would be fair for you guys at least. You'd get to see some of it. You don't get to see the beginning, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like the idea of me streaming it over there? I mean, Twitch doesn't keep hold of your streams for long. Like, I think it's what, 90 days? They keep hold of your stream and then it's deleted. That's what it was when I signed up for Twitch. So, what do you think? Does that sound good to you guys? Remind you, I haven't tested it fully. So, I don't know if it's going to be able to stream today, but hey, you never know, it's worth a try. So let me know what you guys think. You okay with me streaming my playthrough, even if it goes wrong? I know the part where they tease the demo, where you basically going. Hang on, Desmond, I can't stream both things at once. Remember, Saturday and Sunday are my days off from YouTube stuff, normally. I can do them after my marathons. I mean, if I remember correctly, Twitch keeps hold of your streams for about 2-3 months. So you'd be able to catch up on them from there. I don't really know the ins and outs of Twitch yet. Okay, I think that will do. So, yeah, I don't know the ins and outs of Twitch, but I know they keep your streams for a while and then they delete them to keep things going. To keep things smooth. But, yeah, you'd be able to watch them for a few days before it's deleted. I know that for sure. I think it's 90 days, which is like 3 months or so, that they keep them for. Other than that, no idea. So, I think I'm going to leave my marathon here for today. And I'm going to hop over to my other account on my PlayStation 4 and see if I can set up a Twitch stream for you guys. And I'll be back in a bit with Valhalla. I think so. So, for those of you who are going to be watching the Valhalla, go over to Twitch. I'll be there as soon as I can. Until the next time I'm on my marathon, take care of yourselves and I will see you then. Goodbye!